Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to continue working on part 15 of this house build. Let's get started. So in the last video, we were able to finish modeling and we started adding it to our sheets. So I showed you how to create sheets and how to place all our views there. So now that we're done with this, we just want to be sure that this is in fine and then save it again, and now we're gonna send it to Twinmotion. So here I'm gonna use the Datasmith plugin that you can download in Twinmotion online, and then here I'm gonna export it to Datasmith file, and then here I'm just going to save it to my folder, and you can name this whatever you want, but I'm just gonna leave it like that. Press save, and then open up your Twinmotion. So I open up my Twinmotion, and then I'm just gonna close this one, and here I'm just gonna delete the ones that we don't need, and those are the 3 ones that we don't, and then maybe this one as well. Starting base. So after that, what you want to do first is to save this one, save as, and then we could just go to the save location, and then I'm just gonna name it house as well, and then save it there. And then right after that, we can import our model, and then click open right here, and then I saved it to my Revit folder under that file name, and then click open, and then import. Let it process like that, and then once you're done, press OK, and then there you go. So we have our model imported, and then we could sign in. So this is already signed in, so I'm already signed into my account so that I could use HDRI, Megascan, Adobe Substance 3D, and Sketchfab. And then now we have to save this again. So I'm just gonna save this so that everything is already there, and then now we can start working on this. What I do first is go to the material and change the glass. I'm going to use clear glass, and then here I'm going to tint it. I'm going to increase the opacity, and then this one as well. After that, click on ambient here, and this is an important part, is to go to your camera and go to details, and you want to make sure that this is checked parallelism. And then after that, what we can do is go to our environment, and what I want to do is to turn on HDRI. So at the moment it's loading, and then we're gonna use backdrop. So now at the moment, this is the one that is the default, but for now I'm just going to do the height offset so that it's not showing the floor. And then after that, let me close this one, so hide navigation. And then after that, what we can do is we could go on to add the different materials that we're going to use. So for example, here in wood, I would like the maple but with a different rotation. So I'm gonna change this one to 90 degrees and then scale it. So I'm gonna increase the scaling. I think that's good. That's good enough for me in terms of scaling. The only thing that I don't like, it's not consistent with this, but that's something that is not that visible, so I'm good with it. I think that's good enough. It's not that visible, so I'm gonna use that. And then we're gonna use a wood here as well. So what I want to use is the veneer part. So let me try this one, oak, and then scale it a bit to see how it looks. So that looks good right there. So I'm gonna use this one, a lighter wood and then a darker wood. And then here we're gonna do the metal part. So I'm gonna do a brush aluminum, or actually maybe a matte chrome, and then the color I'm gonna darken the color. So that's looking good right there. And then I'm gonna change this one to stone. Let me use this one and then increase the scale. There you go. And that one is good right there. And for me, I'm happy with this design. And then this is white, and then we could change this one to a stone material similar to that. And then let's increase the scaling. I want it to be consistent, so that's why I chose that. And then of course we need to pick material for this, and then this is aluminum. I'm gonna do is turn it to black, and then the make sure metallic is at 100, and then we could use this one to add those. And then here I want this one to turn gray, and then actually this number should go there. And then maybe we're just going to lighten this one, and then intensity or the metallicness, I'm just going to make it around 60. I think that's good enough. Yes, it looks good right there. And then here for the concrete, actually for this one I think concrete is a much nicer look, but we need to scale it a bit. So I think that's perfect. I like the effect. Scale it down. think that's good enough. And then here, fine for that one. And then we could do fine concrete here as well. And then in terms of the door, we're gonna put in another wood material, but the veneer, let's put this one with 90-degree orientation and then scale it. And then I'm going to pick this one again. This is the aluminum, but I want to add it onto this. And then after that, the neon. And then add this one right here. So the glow is right there. And then we can increase or decrease that later on if we want to. And then here, maybe the aluminum as well. There we go. So now it's good right there. I would like to increase this more for in terms of scale. There we go. And then the glow is there. Of course, we're going to add in more, even a modeled house on the side, and then some grass, and then also we're going to add in some trees. So this one is good right now. I'm going to change this one. So let's go to materials again, ground, and then this one is man-made. In terms of this, I'm gonna do the concrete road. And then here, and then for this one, I like the cobblestone. Scale it, and then we can do another cobblestone here and scale it a bit. Make sure to keep on saving it so that if it's crashed, you'll be able to recover it. I think that's good enough. We can double check it if we go to ambient, and then the rendering. Let's click on lumen, and then the path tracer. Let's put it to low first, and we see the effect of the materials, even the reflection. So I'll probably increase it more, the opacity. I think that's perfect enough, because if we increase that, it's just reflection. We still want something at the back, and then that's perfect. Of course, we're going to keep on changing that later on. And then here we're going to, of course, add in the lights. We're gonna use the 3D grass. The 3D grass is new to this version, the latest version. So you need to go to materials, and then here we could add in the 3D grass, and as you can see, that looks amazing already. So I have no complaints on that. And then we can see straight lawn grass, and then everything is perfect. We don't need to worry about overing other. So as you can see, and then we could make this one the grassy part. And then of course, if I were you, you can put the lawn grass, a different layer or different material, so that you'll determine which is lawn and which is not, and then you will have it in fine. So for example, here flat grass, we have straight, we have lawn grass that is really fine, and as you can see, it looks good. And then here, this is field grass, and then we have another one right here. So different, and you can change the scaling. So I'm just gonna use this lawn grass for now, and this one looks good. After that, let's go to our vehicle and then add in like a car here. And then let's change the color to dark gray. Why not a different color, actually? We can do blue, a different shade of blue. Oh, let's not forget this part right here. I'm going to pick this one, and then I'm gonna add it there. So that looks good right there. I'm gonna add some vegetation, some trees that I want to add here. So I'm going to pick it here. Maybe I'll just lower the age. This is actually too big, so I'm gonna look for more. Maybe the one that is just straight. I'm gonna try this cypress. Too big, yeah, something like that, but a little bit small. Everything is, the scaling is too much already for us to add. So I end up just using this one, Hachi bamboo. It's because some of them are just too tall and it will block our design. So instead, I'm just gonna use this. I'm gonna add 2 of them. And the good thing about this is it's not overpowering, and at least you can still see the look of our model at the back. So we can actually add one more from here. And then let's just center this a bit. And then this one, just put it somewhere right here. I think that's perfect. And then I'm gonna look for a bush here that we could just add. The size is too much, so let's just add it like that. Let's add them 3 more times, and then just fix the spacing. There we go. I'm just gonna rotate this, or actually just leave this one for now, like that. Increase the spacing, or not the spacing, the tightness, so that everything looks like that. I'm happy with that. Very simple, but yet everything is there. Okay. And then in the next video, we're going to add in the lights, and then the surroundings, and then more trees. So thank you for watching, and I hope you liked the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below.